dungeon. We're walking in a cave. Now we're on our walking tour of Belgrade and the most delicious meal of our entire trip. The breakfast room. So today we are in Slovenia and I'm finally starting to feel better. This is the first day in a week I haven't been nauseous. This is awesome. So apparently there's a lot of really huge, amazing cave systems in Slovenia. There's two that are arguably the coolest and this is one of them. The one that you can take pictures in. So that's the plan. OMG. It's a castle half built in a cave and half a castle. This is so cool. Look, there's a dungeon. At least I think it's a dungeon. Prejama Castle was first built in the 1200s. The most famous guy who lived in this castle was like a Robin Hood, but they also had these defense areas where you could pour boiling oil on people. Check it out. Hello, throwing rocks and boiling oil on attackers. And the oldest parts of the castle are actually like all cave with an escape route up through the back of the cave. So you couldn't really siege the castle because you could just escape through the back to get more food. And then as different people owned Prejama Castle throughout the years, they built onto it. So you'll see some rooms that are half cave and half castle, and some that are all cave and some that are all castle. It's pretty cool. Apparently it was so hard to attack this castle because of how it was built, but they finally discovered the weak spot was the toilet. And if you threw cannonballs, you could knock into the bathroom, and that's how they ended up killing one of the kings who owned the castle, throwing cannonballs at him while he was on the pot, and he died. I probably shouldn't laugh at that, but it's kind of hilarious. Then we got a quick but delicious lunch and headed to Postojna Cave, which is about 15 miles long. So they actually have you take a train into the cave and then get out and walk around. We're walking in a cave. It's a cave system that was created by the Pivka River. One of the things this cave is famous for is this olm, O-L-M. It's a kind of salamander that lives only in caves, and it's like almost translucent. It reminds me of like an albino animal. We got to see some in aquariums, but you can't take pictures because it hurts its eyes. Then we headed over to Lake Bled, which is a touristy spot for its castle over the lake, and they had a festival going on, and James really wanted to try the Slovenian cake, which he said was quite good. We are now in Belgrade, Serbia, and we're only here for less than 24 hours, and so we're walking around to explore tonight, and turns out that the former president of Serbia lives across the street from where we're staying. She explained it as like, it'd be like saying Obama's across the street from you. I think Serbia was the country that most surprised me, in that I just loved it way more than I expected. Serbia is also the home of Nikola Tesla, who's really famous for his work with electricity.
All right, Snuggles, well, I have no idea what this is. It was about 90 cents, and it has flaxseed on it, so it must be healthy.
This is our apartment in Belgrade. It's a little tiny downstairs area. And up these stairs is a little bed and a chair. It's so cool. So where's the shower? Oh, this is the shower. We're out here this morning walking around Belgrade. So Serbia has such an interesting history. It's been burned to the ground and rebuilt 44 times. And the most recent bombing was by NATO. And they were bombed for something like 78 days straight. So they've had to rebuild over and over, which leads to these like communist style architecture. This like very plain building that's not particularly beautiful, but it's like the cheapest and easiest to rebuild so that people have a place to live after their homes have been bombed. This is a much more beautiful section than any we've walked through yet. Check out that awesome door. That's so cool. And that's why there's so many different styles of architecture in this city too, because parts of it have been rebuilt more than others. Now we're on our walking tour of Belgrade, and this we are entering, I believe, is the Bohemian district, which is beautiful. Our tour guide let us sample some of this rakia. So rakia is liquor made from plums, and there's all different flavors of it.
Made this.
It was made by the father of my friend. He has this really strict policy about making exclusively plum because that's only the local thing.
Oh, okay.
She also told us about their alphabet, which she said is completely phonetic, meaning every sound has one letter that makes that sound, and every time you see that letter, it always makes the same sound. So that was kind of cool. And then we got to see this fortress area, which is right by where the Danube River connects with the Sava River. So it was really cool to see the Danube because I've heard of it so many times. It's the second longest river in Europe and it flows through 10 countries. Then we went and had lunch in the oldest restaurant in Serbia, and it was delicious. So we're here in the oldest restaurant in Serbia, and I have to say, this was probably the most delicious meal of our entire trip. Like France, Germany, Switzerland, this is the best food. So this is the appetizer, these little cheese rounds. It was almost like goat cheese or cream cheese consistency, but like cheese. Like, I can't even describe it. It was so good. And then we had a boiled apple stuffed with puree walnuts and cream for dessert. And then we caught a flight down to Greece, which I'll tell you about in the next and final vlog. This is our rock scramble down that